Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2. We're going to finish the second trial, the second case of the game against Mr. Shamspear. But how is everybody doing? I love getting blown up. Okay, let's continue anyway. So, everybody doing well so far? Joyful, jubilant jumping jacks. Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you. Sorry it took me a while, everybody. I was making my tea with the stove that everybody was using in good old London to heat themselves up. I was making my own tea, which apparently the tea was supposed to be used as coins from the soap and blah 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 blah. It all worked out. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquire S. Now finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent and proof that my tea is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Herlock Sholmes. May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. I thought the tea was innocent. Uh-oh. Also, I'm sorry, everybody, but he got you all. You all fell for it. He got ya. You fell for it. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. By the way, chat, so I'm editing up the Nuzlocke from last night, and let me tell you, it's gonna be a good video, so when it comes out, please give your love and attention to it, please. I've spent like a lot of time on this whole thing. It's the whole stream edited down into one episode, so it's quick, it's snappy, to the point, and lots of stuff is going on in that video, so make sure you give it a like, you comment on it, you share it, you make sure that it becomes my best video ever. Alright, so let's continue on with this game, shall we? Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. And sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, yes. And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep, I queried. Why, time after time, did they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Wow. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yes. Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. I mean, instead of, waking up late, just don't sleep. Big brain moment. Shocking. And so the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Oh my goodness, you can't get enough of this guy, can ya? Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. Ah, yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this? Ah. Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to... I drank it. It was a laborious task as the bottle was nearly empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. So I was right, it does have poison. Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. I've tried. If he says it's not recommended, he's tried it, so I think he has strychnine inside of him. Well, I have it now. Oh, it's slow-acting poison. Gotcha. Could I have a word? Grexy! Gregson, how good of you to come. Forget it, excuse me. Oh, he just dipped. Wait a minute, Inspector. Okay, I'll come back with my food. I, don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please, speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Spamspear's room? Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in his room? A man by the name of... Selden. I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that... well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye? What, Inspector? I've copied out the relevant parts for you so you can read it for yourselves. Thank ya. Oh boy. So the yard's file about the convicted criminal Selden that includes the newspaper article about him dying of illness in prison, not in poison. These documents include the details that were the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Let's check it out. Let's see, 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of sus murder, died of natural causes while in prison, his final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. The estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. I don't know, did he die naturally or naturally of poison? I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. So is it gonna be like toned down? Hey, that's the sound of the recycling bin. That's the sound of that's the recycling bin sound. What did she throw away? Did the cellmate kill him? Did I kill him? Why are you giving us a copy of this file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe? Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all. Certainly not. You just hear everything going on in the background. You just hear... like Sholmes is snoring in the background. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Moustache in floods of tears personally, so... the best of luck to you. Locum Student not a Mr. Naruto Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Ms. Olive Green and Mr. William Shakespeare. This is going to be the final battle. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. Slap self many times just to get ready. I come in court, cheeks red. I slapped myself way too many times. It's all for progress. It's how I get ready. Let's do it. How is this gonna end? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense, namely that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of the incident. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing in my opinion, my lord. However, The prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from the dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration. A rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Von Zeeks, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? No. Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord. He did all that animation just to say, no, I forgot, sorry, I forgo. Very well, bring the witnesses in. Bailiff? She's painting and he's creepy, great. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please. William Shamspeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words. Ouch. I'm Olive Green, I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no, not a fledgling really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Ugh. Also currently unemployed, in other words. Alright, Van Zeeks, we get it. You have a job and they don't. He's just showing off. Look at me with my fancy clothes and fancy job and breaking bottles over people's heads. What a coterie. Hold on, I gotta find out what that is. It's learning words with Pixel Time. Coterie, also known as a small group of people with shared interest or taste, especially one that is exclusive of other people. So, a group with similar interests, basically a group of unemployed people, basically. But man, you know what? It reminds me of pizza time. No money. Mr. Shamspeare? My lord, I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord. And Miss Green? Yes? You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume? No. Yes, the officer did explain. Oh. Holy flip, clickbait arrows existed back in the day? Nice. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. And, do you accept the charge, Miss Green? I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die. That's just it right there. Hold on. Hold on a second. I need to do this real quick. Just let me get this part real quick. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon. Alright, here we go. And I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady. Die. That's it. Die. That's it right there. Ah, flip. Can I just... Oh, there we go. Come, lady. Die. Now that's a screenshot right there. Oh my goodness, that's great. I'm so glad we got the recording feature here. It's great. Verily, I know not thy prickly pigmented personage. P? Oh yeah, P green. Hold on, chat. Let me see if the tea is ready for thine lips. Oh, that's still pretty hot. A little too sweet. Did I put too much honey in there? I hope I didn't put too much honey in there. I put a spoonful. Pulls out comically large spoon. Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. It's all very strange indeed. Why would you sus me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital fighting for my life. Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrett household, where you've been stabbed in the back, an incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days. I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under sus? What other irrelevant things might I be sussed up? It's all very disturbing. Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks I feel on the screen. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspear's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened. Oh no, the incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident? Yes, in HD and in 4K, please. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspear. But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned. Oh, Echo, stop! Why did my Echo go off? Echo, stop! It just started talking. That was weird. Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. Hey, that was 2 months ago. What happened 2 months ago? Let's do it. What you two got? It was 6 days ago at about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. That's it. That's the story. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all of this business. Shamspear only had one thing to say. Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. After this case, we will tear down that building. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspear? 'Twas the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Marry, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine. When Soseki-san was arrested on sus of attempted murder, as sussed, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. Oh boy, we're gonna find out something sus between these two. Then they kiss. It was 6 days ago at about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. How did you feel when you were stabbed? Did you survive? I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It was awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long. And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested. Yes, the incident has been resolved already. Perhaps it would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening and should not be forgo. Yes, I suppose so. Thank you. By the way, chat, about this whole forgo business, I cannot believe that forgo is actually a thing now. Forgo? Forgore? Literally, Nintendo, what is up with you? They just like, you know what? Let me just copy your homework for a bit, but you know what? I'll make it my own. Just don't copy it too much. Forgo? Forgore. Oh, yeah, this he's a bit sweet. I think I used too much honey. I think I did. Yeah, I know that forgo was a word before Forgotten Land. It just seemed like Nintendo's like, hey, can I just copy off your homework? Yeah, just make sure you make it your own, and they just added R at the end of forgo. But it's such a weird coincidence how there's forgo and forgore. Weird coincidence. That's all. But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case. The trouble is, there's nothing to tell really. I was just walking along the pavement. Okay, nothing weird about that. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean? The art school you attend. What's it called? Ah, yes, it's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of on the underground. I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End? Well, oh, she's shaking. It's because, oh yes, of course, I thought it might make a nice picture. The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas. That's right, I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of town. I like, poor people. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term. The point is, she's definitely hiding something. Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth. If she's trying to hide why she was there that evening, it must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspear, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? It would be my pleasure, sire. Oh wait, don't I have something that says, like, you know, meet at Briar Road or something? Like, I have a... Or do I not have that? Because I remember reading about that. Unless I don't have it now. Probably not now. But I swore it mentioned something like that.
Hold it!
Let's continue though. A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel. Oh, yes. It was a letter telling her to go to the Slug and Salad, but we don't have that letter yet, do we? 'Tis a jewel in the East End. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Von Zeeks? The Slug and Salad offers you unusually fine dining for the locality, at least. Not an establishment you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. Did he just call me poor? It's true, the menu lists premium crust of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness. I love my water foggy. You know what? I just want a cup of fog. Just give me a cup of fog. I would have expected Grub's Grubber in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. Pea. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment. Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days, he dined at a place he wouldn't normally. It does stand out. So Mr. Shamspear's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly sus. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain these actions. Not yet though. I don't think we have that yet. I feel like we gotta continue before we do. Yeah, not yet. We don't have any evidence at the moment. Can't think of anything at the moment. If we find a clue that could explain why Mr. Shamspear went there, we must present it to the court. Yes, absolutely. If that is all on this matter, counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement. It was the first time I've been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all.
Hold it!
What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate. It was nothing really, it's not worth mentioning. If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Card? Miss Green! I was not drinking poison. What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back. Ah, does anybody remember Michael? He died last time. He drank the poison and died. I miss Michael. Oh, rip Michael. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan. Duncan Donuts? Mr. Shamspear, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's words springeth from within me with near a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps. Well, nay, sire. 'Twas nothing at all. Presumably, you know the name, though, Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly, nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in a room just one floor above yours? Miss Green? Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before containing the note, do you have it upon your person? I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. Wait a minute. Look at that. That matches. In fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. She just tears it up like, shh, what evidence? There's no evidence. Ha 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 ha. A note in an envelope that seems to have been ripped open rather roughly. It contains instructions to meet with someone who claims to have info about Duncan Ross. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamspear and Miss Green. Let's look at that envelope. Oh wow, I like the paper. Paper looked good. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. Huh? What is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen that exact same shape somewhere before. Oh, you don't mean? Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. Perfect fit! They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card. Ah, there we go. But now, it was found in Mr. Shamspear's room, which means that Mr. Shamspear and Miss Green are connected. Also, tea time. I gotta drink this tea before it gets... Why is it quiet? Oh, man. That is some tea right there. Alright, there's nothing else there. Let's get back to it. It's Duncan Ross. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. No. Anyway, hold on a second. We're gonna go back a bit to here. Was it this one or this one? I think it was this one right here where we have to present the evidence. So let's get back to that part then. And then we can present that evidence. Ah, freaking nose here is making my nose itchy. Oh, was that not it?
Hold it!
I think it might be the third one. I gotta find it. By the way, chat, while we get there, has anyone heard about some rumors about the Nintendo Switch Online thing possibly getting Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games? It's a rumor, so it might come out when the next Direct comes out. Hopefully they'll announce it then. Mr. Shamspear? Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest. Very well, I will present the crow of evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day, namely... the card!
Take that!
I believe this card reveals the answer. For a second there, when the music was still playing, so I was worried I chose the wrong evidence right there until it faded out. I'm like, oh my goodness, that scared me. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. Ideal GBA port would be that one Chow Garden game. I mean, if we can, I mean, who knows? But I really hope that the Game Boy Advance games do work very well, though, because that would mean if they can release more games on the Game Boy Advance, that's more games to play. I hope that the systems they release, I hope that's during the next direct, they're like, by the way, we're announcing more consoles. If you're waiting for more N64 games, I'm sorry. We're gonna focus on other stuff. I really hope they release more games in a timely manner. They release games so rarely. That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. I feel like GameCube games will be a later thing, basically. So I feel like before the Switch 2 comes out, they're gonna be like, by the way, GameCube games will come out on the Switch 2! And then they're gonna re-release all the games again in a slowly manner. They're not gonna transfer everything, but I really hope they do. Like, if we do get a Switch 2, I hope everything transfers over, including the games they already released, and not just re-release Super Mario Bros. For the freaking 50th time in a row. Please, Nintendo, please. Mr. Shamspear, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspear? Well... excuse me, can I say something? Yes, Miss Green? That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely... My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. Very well then, you may amend your testimony to include details about the peculiar note. If she says something like, this note was delivered to me at my address, it's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here. You are a liar. What about this here?
Objection.
This torn piece. The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, if that is your real color, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope. Oh, is it? And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. Where did you find that? In Mr. Shamspear's room. In my room? Mr. Shamspear, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green? What did I do? As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspear's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all. I'm just a sloth. I don't know anything. There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? You broke? I mean, thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me? I just find this funny though. You. I just love it. It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. How's it going, everybody? How you all doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm playing some great Ace Attorney. Both witnesses may need to testify. They need to testify again. Miss Green? Yes? Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Yes, I know. Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. Alright, let's see what's going on this time. Will they be truthful, or will they lie again? They're gonna lie again. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, peradventure that note was delivered onto me. On the day writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it. Okay, so she's saying she didn't do anything, but she's green with envy. You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare? Faith, 'tis so, my lord. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was a lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying. I'm no liar, I'm cute. How does it feel to be back at it with great Ace Attorney? Well, I came back to it a couple of days ago, so I feel okay. It's just that with the change of my schedule and everything, that I'm focusing on more games on Twitch, there's going to be a lot more variety with the channel, but of course, it doesn't mean I'm going to go away from Great Ace Attorney and Danganronpa. But I'm just going to focus on one of the games for a while until I switch over to the other. It's just me getting used to the new schedule and the insane amount of games I'm playing. But it feels great to be back here. It always feels great. I love Ace Attorney. Would I play through all these games for nothing? I played through 1, 2, 3, 4. The 3DS game, Great Ace Attorney 1, and now 2. So this is my 7th game. This is my 7th Ace Attorney game because I played Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, Apollo Justice, Layton vs. Wright, Great Ace Attorney 1, and this is 2. Dang, that's 7 games already. And we still got plenty more to go. We still got the 3DS games to go through. The other 2, the Justice for All, no, not the Dual Destinies and Spirits of Justice. Wow, we still have a lot more to go, don't we? I really hope that Capcom releases another one soon. I beg your pardon? I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. That note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is. I am not a liar. By the way, chat, I'm just curious. I know that people like the circle, but how do I look in the circle? Do I look alright? Because right now, I'm trying to figure out where I place the camera at, and I really don't know where else to place the camera besides there or the side. So if I look okay or if I look sinister, do let me know if I look off. If I look fine, you're lying. No, I can't call my chat a liar. Wait, we played Apollo Justice already? Citrix, where have you been? In a coma? But yeah, played Apollo Justice already. That's already been done. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry? I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. I'm just a sloth streamer. All I'm here to do is play games. I didn't kill nobody. I'm a liar. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well, then. The defense will not proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses. Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspeare's room. There can be no question of that. There can be no question that I gotta finish my tea real quick. Give me a second. Oh, it got lukewarm and the honey is overpowering the taste. It tastes disgusting now. Ew. Good thing I got this glass of water. Really, when you make tea, you gotta chug it all down. Mr. Natsume was right. This guy is correct. Freaking Mr. Soseki Natsume is right. Drink it while it's hot. Drink the tea while it's hot. I let it cool down a bit too much. Ugh. Goodness, that was disgusting. I put too much honey in there, so literally I don't taste any tea, I just taste sweetness. And that's how she acquired the note. Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. But I do hope Capcom is like, yeah, you know what, we've been making Ace Attorney 7 this whole time. You know what else I want Capcom to release? Battle Network Collection. They released Mega Man Collection, Zero Collection. Where's the Battle Network Collection? I would friggin' play through Battle Network again if they released that. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, per adventure, that note was delivered onto me. And can you shed any light on the contents of the note at all? Nay, sire, it is as strange to me as a foreign tongue. Even with a knowledge of literature as great as mine own, verily, 'tis impenetrable. But Mr. Duncan Ross had lodgings in the same household as you. In effect, he was your neighbor, so surely you knew him, didn't you? Alack, if the choices betwixt I knew him and I knew him not, then 'tis with foreboding that I be forced to declare, whereby we were by some small measure acquainted. Despite your claims, though, you followed the note's instructions and went to the Slug and Salad. Presumably, that was nothing to do with your knowledge of literature? Marry, none will have the better of me, sire, save for the lure of curiosity. So 'tis true I was compelled by mine own eager heart to betake myself to the tavern. Yet in the end, my curiosity was not satiated. Satiated, right? That's how you say it? On the day Rich therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, but yet nobody came. Pixel called for help and nobody arrived. So even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared? Well, yes, sire, 'tis as thou sayest. Really? You paused for a moment before you answered. In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did suddenly recall. Really? Do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear after all? I was not alone that night at the Slug and Salad, my lord. No, 'tis returning to me now. I did treat my lips to almost clear water and mine innards to a premium crust of bread. They only cut off the crust for me. I could not afford the whole bread. Imagine going to a restaurant. I can't afford the whole bread. What can $1 get me? Just a crust. Crusty. And all around me danced a great many companions. What do you mean? Flies, sir, flies. Good lord. In the name of Beelzebub, what were they? Fairies, perchance from a midsummer night's dream, come to taunt me. I think they were just flies. I can't help thinking that the flies ought to choose something more wholesome to buzz around. Is that wrong of me? Wow. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. When exactly did you notice it had gone missing? Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. In other words, you didn't notice. Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts ne'er occupy my mind. I am busied with greater ideas. And yet during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Clearly then, she could not have been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room. Ah, yes. Yes, of course. By the way, chat, before we continue, would anybody care to have a list of games that I've streamed, just in case people do ask if I play this game or not? Because I'm thinking about making a list of, like, games that I streamed, and games that I, did a one-off on, I played once, just to be sure, like, did I really play this game? Check the list. Also, I can just say, yes, I played it, but, maybe that can help out, I guess. So people can be surprised, like, wait, you played Mother 3? Nani? I'll work on that after PAX East, because literally, I have to leave for PAX East in 2 days. I'm streaming today and tomorrow, and my buddy Nathan's coming over tomorrow, so we're gonna do a multiplayer stream that night, and then we're off for PAX East for about a week. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? You have so far failed to give a satisfactory explanation as to how you came by the note. Even Van Zeeks is like, you sus, girl. I am not here to advocate for your defense, madam. I won't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh, dearie me. What's Lord Von Zeeks getting at? He's becoming Edgeworth. I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I'm so lucky. Well, I had to save up money. I don't have a job anymore right now, so basically I'm just going on savings at this point. But I do love cosplaying at conventions. Besides, Trix, you'll make it 1 year. I know you will. It seems that this note was actually delivered to Mr. Shamspeare about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? Well, for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into his lodgings.
Objection!
But for what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some other way, any further pursuit of this note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come to be in possession of the note by stealing from Mr. Shamspeare's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings, though? Yes, we should pursue that idea, Mr. Naruhodo. We're close now, I can feel it. We're so close to a breakthrough. Alright, so we just gotta find another reason why she got in that room. I can point out the villain here and ask for that torn off piece of the envelope. I don't know anything about it. So you don't want to tell the court the truth about the letter, is that it? I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. I'm introverted too. Any other introverts in the chat, raise your hand. Introverted? Fie, this fledgling doth readily cast aspersions about my nature. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The wind doth frolic on my wing. Oh, pity. Is he flossing? No, that's not flossing. That's that Spider-Man thing people do dance about. Wherefore dost thou accuse one so pure of heart, ample woman? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure. Tragedy. Thou shalt not know of the true heart of an artist until thine instruction hereafter by death. Oh, the days, oh, the years, alas, to enlighten thee, thou must wait so long and in vain. Mr. Naruhodo, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no Shakespearean actor, Mr. Sato. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Yes. It's clear that Miss Green did in fact break into Mr. Shamspear's room, isn't it? And that's where she found this letter. Yes, two more or less foregone conclusions that lead me to one terrifying conclusion. Terrifying? Yes, I'm afraid to say that the outcome of this cross-examination may well change how we look at this case completely. So it's one of those two. I gotta find another reason why she got into that room, though. So there's another reason why she came into that room. Why did she? It has to be about Olive Green. No, no, not Olive Green. That's her. Duncan Ross. It has to be about Duncan Ross. So it has to be related to Duncan Ross somehow, but what evidence would work with Duncan Ross? I would have to maybe the hidden photograph. I'm gonna try the hidden photograph because it has to connect to Duncan Ross. Another reason why she got there, because Duncan Ross died in that same place. So I'm just gonna present this and see what happens.
Objection.
Okay, that did not work out. Dang it. It's like, which one of the two testimonies would work? So there's another reason why she got into that room. And the torn off piece of the envelope, she doesn't know anything about it. What if I present it here?
Objection.
Okay, that didn't work either. Huh. There's a reason why. It's for Duncan Ross. Because he died. Is it the poison that I Oh wait, did I even check the poison bottle? I should probably check the poison bottle. Can I look inside and drink some of it? Oh, there we go. So this is the poison we've been hearing so much about, strychnine. There were a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle there. Look, you must be tempted to try it. Of course not, as long as we don't lose this trial. What? What? No, even if we lose the trial. Did Naruhodo just say I'll drink the poison if we lose? No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Naruhodo. Make your mind up, Susato-san. Wow, that was dark. I was not expecting that right there. So why did she sneak into that room? I could present the card again, but... It's like, it could be the letter, though. But a torn off piece of the envelope, you don't know anything about it. So I'm gonna present this.
Objection.
Okay, so that didn't work. Huh. That didn't work out, so I'm pointing out the obvious, but I gotta look outside the box for this one, I think. So she snuck into the room for Duncan Ross for the envelope, but why would she? There has to be another reason why then. I just gotta find the right piece of evidence. It can't be the soap. Not about the torn off piece of the envelope. There's nothing there that shows anything, I guess. Could it be the handprints on the wall because of the light? No, it can't be that. Medical report. Ingestion of strychnine. Oh, wait. Could it be this here? The strychnine.
Objection.
Ah. Dang it. Could it be the bottle then? No, it can't be. I'm trying to think right now. What could be another reason that she showed up in there? And for the torn off piece of the envelope, she doesn't know anything about it, but it's about Duncan Ross. What do you mean?
Objection.
Okay, I'm literally just grasping at straws here. Whatever I'm doing is not working. Dang it. Whatever I'm doing is not working. This is... I gotta think. Just think for a second. Because I could put the poison. Why would you? Did I try the picture? I did try that. Let me try the bottle.
Objection.
It was the bottle! It was the strychnine. I didn't think the bottle was gonna be used there. Oh my goodness. So it did involve the strychnine. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle, but I'm like, did she take it with her? Because I thought the bottle was at the hospital. I thought she said that she got the bottle from the freaking doctor when the doctor opened up the cabinet and she stole it, but maybe she had the bottle the whole time because strychnine poisoning. Oh my goodness. I wasn't thinking. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. So I think she wanted to use some of that to poison him, and I think that's how he ended up like that. She got there with the poisoning and poisoned him. But how? According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry set, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspear. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp into Mr. Shamspear's room with poison. How dare you! Can this be? You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspear's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie. Oh no, she died by art. What the heck? She fell over. Wow. Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident in Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zeeks? And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shamspear's address. More activity? Yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on sus of murder? That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamspear was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself, to cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspear had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. Oh, his intended victim being in a prison cell. Oh, with the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamspear was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room for some 4 days earlier. Hurry! She's standing on a cube! With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What plan? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To Make sure I wasn't home? Oh, to put the poison on the peepee. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green? Yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas peepee in your room. Oh my goodness. Wardar, what do you have to say for yourself, witness? I'm sad. Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. Is she gonna crack? It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So that's what's behind all this. You will share your apparent understanding with the court police counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life? Duncan Ross. Duncan Ross. That's right, before the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, took up residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garadeb's, somebody else was renting a room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings. That does ring a vague... Oh, of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claim was strangled by the convict's curse or some such. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspear blowing into the gas peepee and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths, that's all people care about. If it's an interesting story, they want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known this until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspear. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry. Marry! Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspear, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? Oh man, this is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Each on different counts of murder? Wow, what a twist. Yes, my lord, that's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shamspear have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man. Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies. Every utterance. And you have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either. Miss Green, I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
Objection!
But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason? I thought I had to look around, that's all. Wow, what a great reason. I just wanted to look around his room, that's all. Sorry. You're right, I sussed him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh violence, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh rotundity of woman. But in any case, whenever I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some terps and a piece of wire. Oh awfulness, oh artfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of woman. Woman. It reminds me of that video I saw for You Laugh, You Lose, where it was just woman. It was a Deltarune video, that's what it was. We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed. Well, I spotted the note that I sent them lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, I discovered a secret hiding place. Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside, we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Ah, yes, well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. What? There was something in it. Yes. Oh. This rather nice key. Oh. You can see the strap like come loose. Look at that loose strap right there. That's not a very good strap. She needs a new strap immediately. Ah! Wow. What are you doing with that? What the? Every ounce of color has drained from his face. Give it here. Give it to me now. It's mine. I inherited it. What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it? No, What's all this about? He inherited that key? It was obviously important to you since you've gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back this minute. Give it to me! Calm yourself, witness. So Mr. Shamspear has tried and in one case succeeded to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamspear at first, but considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it. Did we just look over? Shamspear's just stabbing Olive again. You like it once, I'll stab you again. What? Pop like a balloon! I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal, everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all of these events. In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say you can explain the motivation for Mr. Shamspear's alleged crimes? What could it be? He needed that key for something. Could the key be used for the gas meter? I'm gonna try that.
Take that!
This is it! This is what exact? Oh, nope, that wasn't it. Oops. I thought the key was for the gas meter, but, wait, what? Enough. Okay. That's a bit of an oops right there. A single word and he puts me in my place. I love it when he stares at the camera, though. That's amazing, though. It may not be conclusive proof that we can provide the court at this stage, but sometimes all that's required is something that calls the right idea to mind. Alright, Mr. Shamspear is desperate to get that key back in his possession. What does that tell us? Gotcha. We will look at everything. So it can't be for that. Photograph. Don't see a key there, but what can the key be used for? It's like, is there anything that could the key be used for? Oh, wait a second. Could it be for the?
Take that!
It could be for the freaking Right there! The 1,000 pounds worth of loot he still remains unrecovered. The key is for the loot! That's an official police report, is it not? The Selden file? How did you get a hold of that? Selden? The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we know this, certainly. A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. I see. And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. The some 1,000 pounds worth of loot that he stole, which, as is yet, remains to be found. Ah, yes, of course, it's coming back to me now. It's written in his file here. 1,000 pounds lost en route to hell. That was how the paper summed it up. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. You mean this key is... Mr. Shamspear, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? This is a false charge, I tell you, a false charge. The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram to the prison where he died will quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if it is true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings? There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden held his loot. Hid his loot. So it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspear's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediate for Mr. Garrett's lodgings in hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man wasn't able to offer him the accommodation of his choice, because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamspear subsequently devised his gas-paced plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. Mr. Soseki Natsume, the defendant of this case no less. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspear? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason: to get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. Oh! He slooped. That was it? No breakdown? Where's the breakdown? Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before they get to stretch me neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Take that! Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in hell, I guess. Shamspear. I thought Shamspear was an alias, not his actual thing. Wow. Smine. What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Ew. Oh, goodness. Mr. Shamspear. It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Everybody's shocked if I don't admit to it. There's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me, for the time being anyway. Rarely you can arrest a victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so close. I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you think I just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruhodo. There is a way. Pardon? There is one way I can finish him. No. He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot, which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly. This is the final piece in this complex puzzle, but I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may have something that could help us find where that loot is hidden. My lord. Yes, counsel? The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then. Very well done, counsel. Let the court hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's haul? We're gonna do the handprints. We're gonna find nasty handprints all over the floor. If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shamspear's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene. Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? Yes. I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamspear. Oh, where the heck did he come from? Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. This Herlock Sholmes himself. What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy backstreets of the capital, are they not? Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since last we met. Mr. Sholmes? He does know Lord Von Zieksten. Well enough to say something like that in any case. Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. So, I really hope, like what if Mr. Sholmes just takes the place of the judge? Like, the judge is late, and it's Mr. Sholmes at the freaking judge's bench. He's like, court is now in session, the judge comes in. Shoo, get away from my bench. Just because you're popular doesn't mean you should be on my bench. Get out. Just shoos him off like a cat gets to get the spray. Off the bench, Mr. Sholmes. I would die if that were possible right there. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover vital clues in this case already. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup you have been holding. Elementary. So now, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Soseki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that's hidden in his old room. What form will the sample take? Present a person? If I presented a person, what would I use? I don't think a person would work. I would have to present evidence, but what was in Soseki-san's room that I could use? Because no, do I have to present a person? But if I do, what do I? Wait, it could, but could I just present Natsume himself? We need a sample. What form will the sample take? I'm gonna just save right there. I'm gonna try my first option, which is presenting Natsume-san himself. We will need something of Selden's in order to create the indicated solution to find its loot, and something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden to create the indicator solution? I could use him. Oh wait, the key, right? Could it be the key?
Take that!
The key! Miss Green! Me? What do you want with me? The key around your neck, if you please. Sorry? That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. Ill. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Oh! Mr. Shamspear, as one great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's hole is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shamspear, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. No! Give the key to me! The detective shan't have it. It's over, Mr. Shamspear. No. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt! Whoa. Oh, shameful spear! Despair! Be thy name! Oh! Good show! Good show! He blew up! He blew up! I'm laughing and he blew up. It's really funny that he blew up. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all. So you have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods? Yet after you killed a young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. Mr. Garrett really has a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease. Poor Mr. Natsume, what unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books. I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove into his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. William Shakespeare? How does it go? To be or not to be, that is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. He did blow up, though. We won. Yay. At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yes, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I better not. We said we wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember? But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd had insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican. That place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me! I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked, no problem there. It's like, I'm the problem. That's what they were thinking. But how could that be? Duncan was gone and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered a rumor I heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations. A rumor? Ah, you mean... Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End. A black market? You mean you could just buy poison anytime? I mean, you know, for research purposes, not for anything I want to do. No. I never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you sussed the man of tampering with and wait. If Mr. Shakespeare was innocent, nothing would come of what you've done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. Interesting way of going about it. I found out the name of the man I sussed, William Shakespeare, and then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shamspear followed the instructions to the letter. I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away, so I smeared a good amount of the poison I bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the corporal would get his just desserts. Wow. What an end. 3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward. Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we would subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. Wow. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you. Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green? Yes, my lord? You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamspear. Yes, I know. And you, Mr. Shamspear, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Soseki Natsume here present. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle, I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Oh, and I like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspear didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Aww, because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green. Mr. Soseki Natsume? Yes, my lord. The court declares that you were exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I will call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty! Yeah! He's not guilty! Set off the fireworks, and now the whole court's on fire. Fantastic. The fireworks burn all the confetti. It's all in flames. Fire shower. Court is adjourned. Fire shower, confetti, fire shower. Let's do it. Let's dance as we burn away. But there we go. That's how you end the case. Great job, mate. Great job. Nice. Oh, yes. Yes, at last. Divine justice duly done. Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, once again, you shaved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. Literally, like in 1 week, I had to save you twice. I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books. You've had such a difficult time, haven't you? Ah, but a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did, and I've seen more of life in this week than all of my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that so far have been hiding from me behind a wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said, I've come to feel the same way. So is this the last time I'll see Soseki or not? I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? Just when we become friends here in England? What a terrible shame. Oh, I know, that does tug at my heartstrings, it really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. So what, no more Maya-isms of Soseki Natsume? Soseki Maya-sume? No more, oh no, I've been caught again. I've been caught down with a knife in my hand. Ay, ay, ay. So I guess this means the third case is gonna be completely different then. Cool. A novel of sorts, I suppose. Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume. How wonderful. Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. It's lit. Why not, when that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache? I suppose you're right, yes. It will in a way be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper. That's very true. And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. The desire to return post haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand. My goodness, yes, faced with such a terrifying prospect, nobody will consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure. But that's not why I'm leaving, I mean it. Teachers yelled that objection in my face. How dare you? That's my word. And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Soseki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well, on the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day, the day that we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Interesting. Let's see what's up with the loot. I want loot. I love loot. Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you to uncover the secret hiding place in just 1 day. Wasn't it supposed to take like 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregsy? Delicious. Gregsy's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily? I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth. So, it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's haul. Oh boy, loot. What the? What is that? Oh, it's bloodied. It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar. A collar? It's huge though. And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I can have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There are some dark stains. You don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. Then of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown. What does it signify, do you think? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know. Where could it have been? That's enough of that, I think. Oh, what's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the color has drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, oughtn't you? It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key. Yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot, and hand it over, now! Wait, what's going on with Mr. Sholmes? Why is he acting all sussy? I never seen a collar that large before, and all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least not once I noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood? Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. You're talking about the latest installment of the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, I presume. The mystery of the knife in the mist, and the mustached man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I can make it a two-part story. Oh, I can't wait. A word, please, Cyrus. Yes, what is it, Hurley? I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question. What? Why not? It's a great case. Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Yes.
And so it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Looks like case 3 is going to be very interesting indeed. But unfortunately, that is the end of the second case. Yay, I got an achievement. Yay. I mean, the thing is, I could move on with the third case, but the thing is, I'd rather save this until after. I'd rather do this after I return back from PAX East, because why should I start this and then wait a whole week until I come back? So I might as well just start it next time. But we're not going to end the stream here. Stay tuned. we're going to do a an extra You Laugh, You Lose before we end the stream. So give me some time. I will be right back, okay? I will be right back with some stuff like that. Give me a moment while we switch over. How's everybody doing so far? Everybody holding up all right? Let's get this closed and get this over here. Hopefully everything looks fine. All right. Hopefully this works. Okay, there we go. The circle is here, and the circle is here to stay. Nice. All right. So who's ready for another You Laugh, You Lose challenge? We are back. All right. So, oh yeah, I should probably change everything, don't I? Should probably just be like, oh, by the way, blah, 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 blah. Just be like, quick. You laugh, you lose before we end. Lol. Just change it to just chatting. Viola. There we go. Just before we end. Before we end. Just gonna make sure this thing goes to that page. Alright, cool. Just want to make sure that it goes to this page and doesn't open up any other window. So. As usual, you know the rules. You laugh, you lose. What the heck else do you need? So let's start off with the greatest death animation of all time. How did I not die in Caribbean the Forgotten Land? That looks hilarious. That can't be real though. But I haven't died to see that happen. That was weird. We're really watching Game Grumps? Okay.
Is that closing?
Did they just close
Yes.
us off and
Yes, they
nobody
sure
else?
did.
What? The carbuncle ate itself? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I can't think of 4 words that had less to do with our situation.
The Guillotine?
Oh,
The carbuncle ate itself?
terrible news, guys. The carbuncle ate itself.
I never actually played this Sonic Party game.
My mind,
What-
my mind is.
What do
just
you take
putting-
from that, though? Like, what do you take from that when it freaking says that the carbuncle ate itself? Waffle falling over. Oh, yeah, let me just do this. Oh, I love Mega Mix. You're joking me. How is this gonna work? It's gonna fall. What? Are you good rhythm? That's so stupid. I love it though. What is the name of Thor's hammer?
Mildnodjor.
Jonathan?
Excuse me? Jonathan? That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is quite a cry right there. It's a me Mario. Good music though.
It's a me, a Mario.
That is terrifying indeed. Is that freaking Chris Pratt? The real Mario Chris Pratt?
Jubilife City. We now get 4 Pokemon that are going to help us through this.
Somebody said my ears probably sound like dragon wings flapping.
God, come on, bro.
Excuse me?
Oh, come on. That's not fair. Dude, it. Production team, can you play that video one more time?
No, they don't.
Sorry, I needed sound effects of that dragon flying away.
Oh. Well, that could be me laughing right there. If that actually got me, that would have been me on the floor right there. Except that if I did that, I'd probably break my chair. I have a very annoying neighbor.
I have a very annoying neighbor. Can someone teach me trumpet?
Why is that
That's
a
the
character
best
from
part.
Battle Network?
Don't need to learn to play trumpet to annoy them. Just try your best and have fun.
Oh, wow. You were so right. Thank you.
Wow, was that to annoy me? Because it worked. Crocodile spinning.
To spin. Spin.
I swore I've seen that before. Maybe. What's this? Anything can change?
Father, is that you? I'm so glad you could join us.
Oh, hello, it is I, Chrome.
Oh my god, you are not my father.
What? Yes, I am. It is I, the Chrome from the Fire Emblem.
Ugh.
Give your father a hug, Lasuna.
Get away from me!
Lasuna! Lasuna! That's amazing! The Lasuna almost got me, though. And Ed and Eddie sounds never fail. Oh my... those sound effects never fail, though. What the heck?
Two.
Yeah, no thanks. That was what the heck was all that about? Jesus. Oh wait, I've seen this already. Yeah, I've already seen that. I've already seen this video. Why am I seeing repost? Oh boy, TikTok video. Well, let me refresh this again. Oh. Oh. I feel sorry for that. Yeah, that. Oh yeah, I should put it full screen. Okay, never mind. Forgot about that. I'm not doing that video. That video, I already know what that video is. No, thank you. Try not to laugh. Funniest moment. Oh. I mean, I didn't laugh, so I think I won. Why is it telling me I pinned so many messages? Did I really pin all the... Oh, wait, those must have been from past. From the past, I believe, yeah. Whoops. There we go. Dang it. That was more cute than funny right there, but it works. I like it. Around the world, around the world. Oh. I don't know why, but the Halo theme just works. It just works. What's this? Oh. She just keeps on going. I feel sorry for the person at the bottom, though. Wow. What? Oh. Oh, the sound effect she was making. It was so low, though. It was so very low.
Puppy.
Puppy. Just a puppy.
Nothing different.
Oh yeah, I've heard about Alpharad's thing.
Whoa.
Stoot.
Dang, that was... Stoot! Oh my goodness, Stoot! That was so quick! I love that name! How come they can make a better name than I can? I love Stoot! Freaking Stoot! Oh my goodness, the freaking cool off at the end, though. Stoot! Oh no, I don't like what I see already. This kind of hurts my eyes. Okay, what the heck? Who liked this? How did what? This all it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing, isn't it? Oh. That was pretty cool, by the way. Oh, I can't show Pokemon. That's bad. I might get banned for that. Miku World.
World is mine. The planet, which we call home, is my property.
Oh no.
This 3-year-old that returned the 3 kilometers per second is really under my possession. I'm claiming complete ownership of all terrestrial and bodies of water, as well as every person in the aforementioned. I am on the title. So belong to me. Guardian, mine. Valiant to me. That frog fears belong to me. Mine.
That's gotta be the end, right? Own. That was ridiculous. Love it though.
Nuts to this! What did my brother say?
I ate your door frame.
Oh yeah! Good old reliable mug man.
That is something I would say. That's great. Another TikTok, huh? Oh. This is really disturbing. That's just disturbing. Oh, I already know about Purloin's a guy. I know that, though. Nerdy? Okay, I've seen this already. I've seen Nerdy Waddle Dee already. I know what it is. I know what Waddle Dee is. I know what all that's about. Kirby and the Furry Exterminating Speedrun. Oh. That is really disturbing. Why do people post such cursed things? Oh. Ew. What the flip? I mean, pretty much. Not the monkey. Not true. Oh my god, it's Tropical Woods. You okay, buddy? Oh. This is really a speedrun right here. Oh my goodness. Oh. Nice speedrun. Oh. Oh. The freaking gun. That was dumb. I love it though. The Amazing Reginald.
Sir, you have picked the wrong jewelry store to start your crime spree, for I am the Amazing Reginald.
You are the Amazing Reginald?
Yes, and you, sir, are going to jail.
Wait, when he start flying? Wait, he is amazing. That was actually true. Oh wait, no, not Terminal Mata.
His cube.
Oh. I know of this game. It does look cool.
What? Cube is stairs. Why can't it just be cube?
Man, imagine getting bamboozled by a cube. That was big bamboozle.
Come here and give me your liver. And that's why all the dinosaurs are extinct.
What the flip?
Oopsie.
That is a big oopsie right there. Oopsie. That's so dumb.
The next day.
Huh?
It's just more Kirby with gun. I get it. Kirby with gun is so overused. Do something original.
I'm going to be Switzerland.
Cool. Good to know.
Let's all board the express train. We can beat 4 back to the Pillory Ruins.
Wow, that train does look fast. Thanks for the idea, Lollyhead. Leave me alone, folks. Choo-choo.
Maybe we shouldn't have announced our plans.
I feel conflicted. On the one hand, I find 4's presence very scary and alarming, but then he goes and says, choo-choo, which must be like the least threatening phrase ever. You know what I mean?
Choo-choo! Think again, balloon buddy. Let's all board the express train. We can beat 4 back to the Pillory.
Oh, it just replays itself. Oh, I really thought it was just continuing like that. Gotcha. Ah, come on. It's gotta be something hilarious. Come on. What is this quality?
What? It's a box? A box of... That's ridiculous. You can't put a box. Nothing's moving.
Okay, that was pretty good right there. That almost got me. Oh no, not Markiplier. Why is he wearing a Yandere shirt?
It's got to go fast. Gotta go fast.
You know, why didn't they put him in the Sonic movie? Markiplier would have been a great Sonic, don't you think? The best Sonic.
Gotta go fast.
I watched this.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
Oh. I can't believe Markiplier attacked me. I felt personally attacked by Markiplier right there.
That is my impression of Nintendo advertising.
I don't know. Like, what else do we have? Like, there's still a lot more to go, but it's like... Like, what's going on? I'm not laughing at any of these. Some got me to almost laugh, but come on, where's the funny? I want the funny!
Anyone can give Kirby the heave-ho, it's you, sire. Anyone can give Kirby the heave-ho, it's you, sire. Anyone can give...
Why did that one almost get me? What the heck? That was amazing. Sorry. King Andreas Singh.
So, King Andreas, did you find a way for us to get home?
Good question.
Excuse me?
Well, I was looking through the Royal Archives to find something new on the music box, and I stumbled upon something fascinating.
Is it a way home?
No! It was the fact that there once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Bully O.T.
Please stop.
Oh, you'll never believe this part. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down.
Andreas, I'm freaking begging you.
Blow me, bully boys, blow.
Here it comes.
Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. Oh.
The Sonic movie with adventurous sound effects.
Goodbye, Tails. I'm Sonic.
Nice.
It's Sonic. You don't have enough memory in the memory card. The world
Did he just say the world? He really just said the world. Oh my goodness, that's great. The world? I really gotta start banning Among Us memes. I really gotta start banning those. Oh. That's silly right there. Oh, come on. It's the same screams over and over again. What's the originality? I reached the end. I've really reached the end right there. Yep, that's the end. I really reached the end of my stuff right there. Does that mean I win? Does that mean I actually win? I don't know how I feel about that. I wanted to laugh. Well, you know what? Let me go to the video. Let me go to the video that always kills me for some reason. That stupid video then. GG to all though. But I don't feel like we accomplished the objective. The objective wasn't there. Yeah, you know what? I won, but at what cost though? I didn't get to laugh. No laugh means no win. Please try to make me laugh next time. Please try to make me laugh next time. Like, I guess that's pretty much it then. What happens if you win? If you win, do you just continue on? Do I just win one? I want funnier stuff next time, okay? Funnier stuff next time. It's my fault for not laughing. Not my problem. Either way, I'm gonna end the stream for here tonight. I won. Take that. So either way, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I'll catch you tomorrow. My buddy Nathan's coming over and we're gonna be doing multiplayer stuff. So it'll be a group stream with me, Nathan, my roommates, Dana, probably Gavin as well. We'll see. But I'll catch you all tomorrow, okay? Until next time, have a good night, sleep well, and please be funnier next time. Be funny.